Morning, how you doing?
First into the barn is Vlad Sliabic, accompanied by wife Helen and daughter Lili. They're hoping horologist Steve Fletcher can rejuvenate a treasured piece of family history.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
You?
God blimey.
Hello.
Hello.
May I have some help with this, please? Thank you.
Is that a lot, yeah?
Oh, there it is.
Okay. It's dismantled clock.
Yeah, in pieces. This is my great-great-grandfather's clock.
Okay.
He was called Milivoje Sliapic.
Okay.
We think he bought it in the early 1900s.
He was an arable farmer in Banat place in the north of modern-day Serbia.
Right.
And essentially he was fortunate enough to be able to make a good living for themselves. And it was only when the Second World War came about that the fortunes of the family have actually changed. At the end of Nazi occupation, liberation came with in the form of communism.
Right.
And relatively wealthy farmers, they were basically treated as the enemies of the state and very publicly been stripped of their wealth, their land, their means of living.
Wow.
And
this is what happened to your family?
yes, hard times tend to breed very determined people, and keeping the clock going, it became almost a metaphor for staying true to our family values. Yeah. So this is the absolute essence of who we are and all of that history that exists in our family. It was one of those sacred things in the household. Granddad winding it up every week.
Yeah.
You were not allowed to touch it or mess with it.
When was it last working?
It basically did not work for the past decade or so. When it was at my father's and mum's place, it became very temperamental and it just stopped running. Different generations of the family have been DIY maintaining it. And essentially, this has never been properly serviced or in any way looked at.
Slightly worries me.
You might have a job on your hands on this one.
People like yourselves are very difficult to come by in here, let alone in the rural Serbia mid-1900s.
And it's been in that area for over 100 years, you said?
But yes, it was there up until last year. And we've essentially inherited it and brought it over to UK.
We went on a 4,000-mile journey to Serbia to go get this clock. We went over 13 countries, and it was such a great journey that we've made so many memories with this clock.
So that just adds to the history of the clock as well, because you'll never forget that, will you?
No.
And then at the end of that journey, getting it out of the car on our driveway, I let literally the part of the box fell off and the crown, which I was holding, fell down to the ground.
Wow. You went through 13 countries and then getting home, driveway, that's when it dropped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't believe we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that gluing it back together was something that I undertook, so I do apologize in advance. But I think that the main part of it is the fact that you can literally move it around.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very fragile in that regard.
If Steve is able to get this working, what's it going to mean to you guys?
The clock reminds me that I am Serbian and that I should be proud of it. I can go up to my friends and go, look, this is my culture. This is my history, yeah.
I'm really excited to get this looking really good again for you.
And when he's excited, good things happen. All right?
Can't wait.
Wonderful.
You guys
Thank
take
you.
care now.
Great.
All right?
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
You're not worried about everybody tinkering in there?
Yes, I'm scared to death.
All right.
Wow, I can see that there is a lot of wear there that I need to repair. I'm really relieved because when Vlad told me that his father and grandfather had taken this clock apart and serviced it, that sort of fills me with a bit of intrepidation because I've heard that before and then found the movement has had weird and wonderful things done to it. But looking at this clock, I think his father and grandfather did an okay job, so all's good. This bearing at the top here is connected to the pallets, which is the part of the clock that does the ticking, which drives the pendulum. It's really quite substantially worn and can alter the going of the mechanism and actually stop the clock. So that certainly needs repairing. Probably the most important thing of a pendulum clock is the spring that suspends the pendulum. This suspension spring is a gallant attempt in repairing the clock, but actually is the wrong size. If it's not right, the clock won't work or won't keep good time at all. I'm going to take this whole mechanism apart, give it a really good clean, and then I can start doing the repair work.
Brothers Richard and Peter Reynolds are next to arrive at the barn, with a tall order for Master Hatter, Jiesh Fagella.
Hi.
Hello there.
Lovely to see you. Hi, nice to see you both. What's in the box?
This is our father's police helmet from his days when he was in the Wakefield City Police.
Amazing. Ah, JS.
Ah. Hello there.
Hello there.
Jiesh.
Can we take a look?
You certainly can.
Wow.
It's a proper police helmet.
It is indeed.
Lovely.
Or what's left of it, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it's had a bit of a life. So your father was a policeman. What was that like?
Obviously, we were aware that he was a policeman, but he was very forgiving of us as children. He knew we'd get in scrapes, and looking back, he always let us find out for ourselves, really. Yeah, so we look back with pride on having, you know, a very wise and a very fair father, actually. Yeah.
Amazing. That's really, really lovely. So how long was your father a policeman for?
1955 until 1974, when he became ill, and he died a couple of years after that, when he was 45. So, you know,
45?
so not. Yeah, he had a brain hemorrhage, and that eventually, you know, took him, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm so sorry. How old were you at that point then?
I was 19.
I think I would have been 17. But we had younger brothers as well, 3 younger brothers, as well as an older brother.
Oh, so 6 of you?
Six
You're
boys.
kidding?
No, 6 of us all together, yeah.
Goodness me, there's a busy house.
Very busy, very noisy, yeah.
Full-time mother, shall we say.
Yeah, I bet. So having a father as a police officer, did that rub off on either of you?
Well, yeah, I became a police officer myself, and one of our older brothers and one of our younger brothers also joined the force. I mean, he died so young, I suppose, in a way, we were continuing the work that he did.
You must have felt quite big boots to fill.
Definitely, yeah, because I actually went back and policed the estate where we were born and raised.
Oh.
And there was still a lot of police officers and other people there who knew Dad. And I was welcomed as, oh, you're one of Fred's lads. He was remembered almost with reverence, you know, everybody you spoke to.
Amazing.
I tried to do him, you know, proud, so.
He did pick. You know, we've not much else to remember him by, but I can just see him wearing it, and I think always will, actually.
When he died, and I came in possession of that, unfortunately, we went out one day and it must have been left out. And one of our family dogs decided to try and see if that tasted as nice as its usual chews, and when we arrived home, it was in that damaged state. And yeah, I felt, you know, guilty that it had happened, but more sort of upset that helmet that Dad wore all those years and all those times had actually been damaged and left in such a state. So it was very sad.
What do you think, Jayesh?
May I, please?
Yes, please do, yeah.
Oh, it's quite worn inside, isn't it? Look at that in there. Yeah.
And I guess it lost a bit of shape. It looks very long overall here.
Yeah.
But I'd very much like to know, what would you like me to do to the helmet?
It doesn't need to look brand new from me.
Just so it's in a state where we can display it proudly.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
Without all the dog chew and...
Bits missing. I like it. Perfect. Thank you so much. Leave it with us.
Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing it.
Take care. Bye-bye. This helmet needs a lot of work. The most visible damage is the damage done by the dog. Literally, he has made a meal out of it. He has chewed away the front and back. So I need to build up the chewed areas of the brim. And secondly, I want to make sure that the shape is put right. There's a considerate damage to the green covering, which I need to build up. But the very first thing I need to do is to take the badge away and the strap on the edge. There we are. The lower part of the badge, there's the metal clips which are sort of turned over and secured. Right, and that is it. That's it all. As you can see, the helmet is very dusty. So what I need to do is have a brush with the law.
While Steve meticulously cleans the 100-year-old clock's mechanism, fellow craftsman Will Kirk has the damaged wooden case in hand.
I've dismantled the clock case and I've cleaned out all the old wood glue. Now I'm having a look at this back panel. And Steve had told me that the mechanism screws onto this backboard. And I think when that was last put on, pilot holes weren't actually put into the back of the case. And that's why the splits are pretty much either side of those screw holes there. So I should be able to get some wood glue in there. I actually need to open the crack more to be able to get the glue inside there. So I'm kind of using my thumb to put just enough pressure to open it up. I can work the wood glue inside. That's all the glue on. Time to get this clamped up.
The pallets and the escape wheel are the important part of a clock because this is what actually drives the pendulum. So, because this pivot here is loose in the pivot hole, what happens is that the teeth on the escape wheel will get caught on top of one of the pallets and stop the clock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop what I call a bush into the pivot hole. And a bush is like a new bearing. It's got a tiny little hole in the centre so that the pivot here will just fit into it nice and snugly, and there shouldn't be as much movement as there was before. Just going to open up this hole now so that it's big enough for the bush to go in. And now I'm just going to pop the bush into the hole. Once I hammer it in place, it will be really strongly and tightly in there. Good. The pivot's gone in there nice and snugly. And I just need to make a new suspension, then I can get it all together and get it ticking.
Once I've finished sanding everything back here, I'm going to give the whole clock a couple of coats of polish. It's going to help protect the case, but also bring out the lovely warmth colour in the wood as well.
I'm just making a new suspension for the clock. The pendulum fits onto a suspension spring like that, and the pendulum is the thing that actually regulates the speed of the clock. If the flexing of this suspension spring is wrong, then the clock just won't keep time, or it just won't go at all. And I think someone in Vlad's family has made this suspension up. It's the wrong thickness, it's too wide, it's basically just too strong, and the clock will be fighting against it. I'm probably exactly the same sort of person as Vlad's family, because I always have a go at repairing things before giving it to someone that probably knows better. Whether it's the cook or anything like that, I'll always have a go at repairing it. I now need to fix this suspension into the brass block now. It just fits in with a taper pin that pushes through. So that fits in there quite snugly. It's not too tight, it can move around. That swings really nicely. Good, I'm really pleased with that. And start getting all the clock up together and get it ticking.
Next, Claire Woolston from Kent has arrived with a heavenly keepsake. Restoring it will require craft work of the highest caliber.
Hi there.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm Will. What's in the box?
So in the box I have a stained glass angel that my mum made for me.
Oh, that is lovely.
Not looking its best.
Matt, I think I've got something just for you here, mate.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
It's a job for Matt Nichols, the barn's resident stained glass expert.
Please tell us all about it.
So my mum was very into crafts and liked to try different things. She used to keep herself busy learning new ones, and she took herself off to a stained glass window workshop and handed me this guardian angel. It was a way of making friends as well as making things.
What was your mum's name?
Her name was Margaret.
Margaret.
She was a big talker, so things didn't tend to get finished. So this was quite special because it was finished. And she was great fun. She was always laughing, normally at herself.
Really?
She was there for me throughout my early 20s. I had anxiety and depression. It was quite sort of debilitating anxiety. She would always be there at the drop of a hat for me to help take my daughter to school and sort of day-to-day life. So Mum was always there for me, picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
When she gave it to me, the words, you know, she said to me, "I'm giving you this because I think you might need it," which I was puzzled by. We didn't know that she was very ill. She was taken into hospital, and within 2 weeks, she deteriorated, and yeah, she died in hospital.
That must have been really tough.
Yeah, so it became very precious, and I hung in my window as a, you know, memory of her and how she'd supported me. She always knew how special sunlight was to me, how it made me feel better. So when the sun shone through it, it was always a reminder of how she'd helped me. And then if I opened the windows, I'd take it down. One day, the window was opened and it wasn't taken down.
Ooh.
And then we heard a smash and went in, and I saw her in pieces. I was pretty devastated. I was heartbroken, to be honest.
Thankfully, it looks like most of the main pieces are intact.
Yeah, I think the lead is holding it in just about, although that's cracked as well.
How were you hanging it before? Because it doesn't have
There
any
was
hooks
a
on it.
thread, like a fishing line I had, which probably wasn't ideal.
Potentially, would you be happy for me to maybe put some hooks on or a different fixing method?
Yeah, I mean, anything that makes it more sturdy and less likely to fall down. If it was possible, I'm very interested in the Japanese art of Kintsugi, where cracks are filled with gold.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. It celebrates the story, doesn't it? Celebrates
That's
the
right.
crack in
It kind of
history.
to embrace the flaws in something and make, you know, sort of symbolise that it can make things stronger and more beautiful. Because, you know, my flaws have made me stronger, and yeah, things that I've struggled with have helped me. I just kind of felt it would be nice to embrace the angel's flaws and make her even more beautiful.
I think that's a really good idea.
It would be amazing. It would be so lovely to see it hanging up and how it should be, cleaned up and not so dusty and forgotten.
Well, it was really nice to meet you and hear about your mum. And I'm hoping our own guardian angel here can work some of his magic for you.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, sir. This angel is really beautiful with the light coming through it, but now that I've got it on the light box, I can really see all of the cracks appearing. The broken pieces of glass are going to need to be bonded back together, and for that I'm going to use a conservation resin. The way that this angel has been made isn't with lead, it's actually with copper foil, which is run around the edge of all of the glass, and then it's connected together with solder. So where this is broken, it's also managed to snap the copper foil. So for these, I'm going to have to replace the copper foil. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the angel up, and that's going to really allow me to see what I'm working with.
Easy.
That's it.
Now I'm going to get a clamp. I think that's it.
Sure?
Yeah. Thanks, Jay.
With the blue felt on the policeman's helmet now dust-free, JS is ready to tackle the out-of-shape crown.
So at the moment it is very long, as you can see. The stretch is fairly long, but it should be a standard oval to this point. I will require to use steam, and what steam does is the heat from it will soften the shell, and then it is ready to be molded. There we are. At this point, I'm going to swiftly move the helmet onto the block. There we go. And that's the result. I'm very happy. I'm going to let the helmet cool down completely. And then what I'm going to do is focus on this severe damage. So what I've done is I've put on a layer of canvas around the brim, and I'm going to go ahead and trim the edges. Right, here we are. Closer to the finish, and done. Now what I'm going to do is apply shellac on the surface of the canvas, because when it dries, it hardens, and that's what I want for the structure of the brim. And I need at least 3 to 4 layers to give that brim the stiffness it requires. Of shellac has worked its magic. And what I need to concentrate on is the felt covering. This really reminds me of being at school, finding a leaf, a piece of paper, then doing a rubbing to get a shape of the leaf. Same process I will apply here. And by doing this, I'm marking out the template. And now the moment of truth. Here we go. and it matches up really well. So it's ready for me to glue it on. There we go. So the new felt looks very good, but what I will do is I will blend in with acrylic paint and make that new part of the old. I have just done the underside of the brim. I managed to source the green leatherette. The color is very close to the original, which I'm very happy about. And what I'm going to do now is introduce a binding to the edge of the brim. There's the shell in the middle, and the green covering, and the felt. And the binding contains all three together, and then gives that sharp, crisp finish the helmet requires. And the reason why I'm doing hand stitch is because there isn't a machine strong enough to pierce the shell. So all I need to do is crack on and make sure my poor fingers can sustain the hard work I'm facing at the moment.
As Jayesh labours to pierce the helmet's tough shell, Steve is ready to set the reassembled clock mechanism back where it belongs.
This case is looking so good. Will has really done a superb job. It should just click into place. There we go. Lovely. This clock just symbolises all of the struggles of Vlad's family. And I know that Lili loves this clock as much as anyone. And so I know that this is going to carry on down the generations and be looked after.
Vlad's ancestors kept the clock running through much hardship, being stripped of their farmland by the communist regime of former Yugoslavia. For Vlad, his wife Helen, and daughter Lili, the clock symbolises the family's determination to keep going through tough times.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm good, thank you.
All right?
Hello, hi.
How you feeling?
Very, very excited.
Yeah?
Very, very excited. Very curious to see what it looks like. When you have something like this, which is a part of your life, literally since I can remember, and it's part of a family heritage, then yes, it is missed quite a lot.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Love to. Yes, love to. Oh my goodness.
Wow. This is amazing.
That is.
Wow.
It just looks so beautiful. The colours that have come out on the casing.
It's really nice to actually see it's all fitting together and it's actually a clock.
Yeah. It looks the way it's supposed to look now.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Can we hear it?
Of course you can.
Oh,
That's
beautiful.
amazing. That is amazing.
Oh my goodness.
How long is it since you've heard it strike like that?
About 20, 25 years probably. I'm not sure that you guys have ever heard it.
No.
Yeah. Last time I've heard a chime was in my granddad's house, and the kind of emotion that brings back is this childhood and family, and the bridge that kind of brings me back to that. Yeah, I'm still getting to grips with how it feels.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you for bringing it in. It's been a great clock to work on.
All right. Well, we're going to pack this up and bring it out to the car.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
See you guys.
You take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
More than
Bye-bye.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
The chime was so delicate and so melodic. It was beautiful, and I really can't wait to hear that throughout the house.
Symbolises the hope and the spirit of the family, and it keeps it alive.
What Steve has restored for me and brought back to life is a part of my homeland. It's a part of my heritage, and I cannot be more grateful.
I've cleaned all the angel and it is looking absolutely fantastic. Seeing the pearlescent sheen of the glass and the light coming through is getting me really excited. What I need to do now is bond all the cracks together. I'm using a conservation resin, and because it's a liquid, what this resin's actually going to do is slowly penetrate all of the cracks and form a nice bond. The resin is now really nicely cured, and so far I'm really happy. The crack seems to have completely disappeared visually, and that's exactly what I'm aiming for. This is really satisfying as I'm peeling off the excess resin. I remember as a kid at junior school, I'd really frustrate the teachers by painting glue on my hands and then getting really excited, taking it off, and somehow I feel like I'm brought back to that moment. Now I'm moving on to the copper foil perimeter. I'm going to have to replace this entire section because there's a couple of pieces here which are damaged. Now, I'm just putting this copper foil over the edge here, level it out so that each side of it is equal over each side of the glass, so when I push it back, it's going to be nice and even. This is nicely adhered. I'm going to get started on the soldering. There we go. So just smoothing that out as I go. It's flowed really well. That's created a lovely bond between the new piece of foil and the old. Now is the time I get to start the Kintsugi. The philosophy and the principles behind the art of Kintsugi are really about celebrating the cracks themselves of the item, but also what they mean to the person that owned it. Just linking up Claire to her mother, Margaret. Kintsugi is an art form that takes people a lifetime to learn, and it's not anything that I've done before, and I'm not doing it the real way that the artisans would have done. But I love the principles of the practice. To start this process, I'm just mixing a resin and I'm going to paint along where the cracks are. I'm then going to be able to sprinkle and then brush over the real 24-karat gold. And that is quite daunting, but it's something I've really been looking forward to. Feeling brave. Now, here we go. I'm just about to put the gold onto the actual angel. Now, I've never done anything like this before, so feeling a bit nervous. So just sprinkling it on. There we go. is looking absolutely fantastic. There's something really beautiful about how this is being revealed. You've got these kind of natural rivers of this gold appearing. I really had no idea that it was going to look quite this special.
On Jayesh's bench, the final touch is rather more down to earth.
Now what I need to do is attach the outer leather band. The stitching has to be in the correct place, otherwise the whole hugging fit of the band will be out of sync. So the band is fully intact, in the correct place. Now this is a very important part of Fred's uniform, and also to his family. For them to sort of carry this on is part of his memory, his legacy, and I just can't wait to see their reaction.
Inspector Fred Reynolds is remembered as a highly respected officer and a wise and loving father to his 6 sons. He passed away, aged just 45 years old. For brothers Richard and Peter, restoring the helmet is a way of preserving their dad's memory.
Hello there.
Hi there, welcome back.
Lovely to be back.
Hiya.
How have you both been?
We're very interested to see what's happened to it.
A lot has happened, actually.
I can imagine the state it was in when we brought it in.
It wasn't looking its best, was
No,
it?
it wasn't right at all.
No.
We just like to see it in the condition where we can display it with pride.
Yeah, you know, I think importantly for us as well, we want our children to be able to visualise as well, and our grandchildren and beyond, almost looking forwards as well as backwards. It's really important.
Do the honours. Do the honours.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, wow.
Wow. How did you manage that?
That is incredible. When I think of the damage that the dog did, and I thought that it would be impossible to get to that stage. Do you mind if we pick it up and have a...
Please do.
Oh, look at that.
I just don't know how you've put that back together. And even the inside, it was so damaged and battered and torn, and the strap and everything. And it actually looks... The width is back in. It looks now like it would go on somebody's head.
Yeah, exactly. You've done a smashing job on, thank you. Yeah. Brilliant.
You're very welcome.
That really is something. Can't thank you enough. It's absolutely brilliant, is that?
It's my absolute
Genius.
pleasure. You're most
Genius,
welcome.
Jay.
It's an honour. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's yours to take away. Just keep it away from any dogs, though. Please.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
I think Dad would be really proud and pleased that we've got it back in a condition where it can be displayed with pride. We're really looking forward to getting the helmet home and have a little bit of Dad about the house.
As he would say, well chuffed.
On Matt's bench, the guardian angel needs one final touch to ensure a safe vigil.
Now, Claire had it originally hanging from the halo, and I feel that that's not quite as secure as it could be. I'm going to attach hooks between the wings and the head, and that means that Claire is going to be able to hang this really safely from now on. Just going to repeat the process now on the other side. Yeah, very happy with that. I think that looks great. It is a obvious feature but I think it complements the whole angel really nicely.
For Claire, the guardian angel will forever remind her of Mum Margaret's unwavering love and support through difficult times.
Hi there.
Hi, Claire.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You okay?
I'm excited. I'm not nervous because it couldn't have looked any worse than it did.
Really?
So whatever you've done, it will be an improvement because it was in such a state. So, yeah.
Well, Matt.
I've been looking forward to this moment.
Really?
So have I.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I didn't realise how cracked it was. That's really quite remarkable. It really has made it more beautiful, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I'm kind of speechless. And the things to hang it on, just amazing.
It looks lovely, doesn't it?
I can't wait to hang it back up again.
It was a real pleasure working on it. It really was. It was lovely.
When Mum helped me through the mental health issues that I had, it was many years ago and it wasn't spoken about much.
Yeah.
And I did kind of feel like I had to cover it up, which just makes this more symbolic because it's not covering up the cracks, which is what the Kintsugi is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just stunning.
I think I'm going to miss this.
I am. It's been such a nice, bright beacon in the barn.
Lovely.
But it's yours to take home.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Claire. That was lovely.
Good job.
It's just really lovely to have a reminder, have that last gift that she made for me, have it back in my life. As a reminder of how damaged I'd been in the past and Mum had helped put the pieces back together again. And so I think the angel now is a nice reminder of how we should all embrace the flaws. We should just celebrate who we are and embrace that, however it shows up.